It's hard going through life alone. Hi, I'm Daryl Casey. I'm here at the LIFEHouse for Animals in Frankfort, and I'm going to tell you a little story about how a cat saved my life. So I was in the Kentucky Army National Guard with an aviation unit flying the Black Hawk helicopters, and we had deployed to Kuwait in 2014. The flight line where we were stationed had hangars, and the command there had let cats run around to control rodents and control birds and that kind of thing. So one of the mama cats who was down there, well, she had kittens. The boy cat, white, he's white with orange kind of markings on him. He and I just kind of hit it off. I was sitting there, we had a little picnic table, and I was sitting there on the picnic table just watching the cats, and he just comes up to my feet and kind of looks up, and he jumps up in my lap and just kind of lays down, and I just start scratching him. And the bond kind of started right there. Pretty soon I named him Stanley. I don't know why, just seemed like a good name at the time. And I'll tell you, this was my 4th deployment. Before this one, I had a very serious medical condition, which I overcame, but when I went to Kuwait this time, I wasn't in the headspace I needed to be in. But to have something, a pet, an animal that just wanted to be with you and just loved you, and the simple act of petting Stanley was so comforting and calming. It changed, it really helped me over there. Well, comes Christmas Eve, and my supervisor said, look, you guys we're not going to be flying any tonight. So I stayed in the little office space I had, and I opened the door and I hollered for Stanley, and here he comes running. And so I'm sitting at my desk, I've got my feet up, I'm listening to some music, and I'm just feeling pretty blue, right, as you can imagine. And he just kind of looks at me, jumps up in my lap, curls his head right here, and just lays down, and I bawled like a baby. And I said, I don't know how, I don't know how, I'm going to get this cat home. And so when I sent a picture of you the day I got home, and he just, and we have been inseparable ever since. But, people say that I saved his life. Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. He saved mine. Because I was, this was my 4th trip, and this one I was in a bad spot mentally. And just to have Stanley every night come into my office, and I'd scratch on him, and I had a little cushion beside my desk where I was doing my work, and he'd curl up on that cushion, and then he'd eventually bleed off of that and over, like I saw those pictures, like over the laptop, and I'm just like, well, okay, here we go. And it helped me survive that trip. It doesn't sound like it's true, like it sounds like it's something made up, unless you're there in it, and it all worked out. But now we've got Jolene in the family. I saw this one on the website, and I mean, how could you not? Look at that face. I mean, we just kind of touched souls, I think, and came into the LIFEHouse, and came into the LIFEHouse and met her, and she's just a joy. It's a little bit of chaos, but that's all right. That's all right. Animals know when you're down, or they know when you need something. They can just be there to love on and to hug on and to care about, can save people in their dark times. As a veteran, as the commander of the VFW, I see service animals and what they do for people. But pets are just so gracious in what they give us every day. They don't ask for anything other than a pet, a scratch on the head, a few treats, feed them, love them. I mean, that's all they really ask for. We are so blessed in our lives to have pets.